There's a perception that Liverpool's construction boom has fallen behind, but there are some interesting projects moving ahead, and I'm going to look at 14 of them. This location doesn't look very exciting right now, but it will be not too long from now. The Baltic Triangle has 4 active sites and 1 stalled. In Liverpool 1, it seems the housing market is being turned upside down. And what's that? I've not seen that concrete core before, and this is what it's going to become. By the Isle of Man ferry, construction of Mauretania is well advanced, and she will be launched soon. Everton Stadium is moving ahead, and this project nearby is set to complete in a few more months. This plot on Stanhope Street doesn't look very promising, but this is the site of the future Liverpool Baltic railway station. Behind the wooden fence is not a plot, but a cutting for the railway line to Liverpool Central. As someone in the comments remarked, once the station has been built, this area will boom. But at the moment it looks run down. What's that blocking the footpath? But through the trees we can see a project under construction. I photographed the old boards on the 1st of April 2023. This is Central Park, Liverpool's answer to New York living. 1 and 2 bedroom residential apartments. Right next door is 1 Baltic Square. Now it's pretty much finished, though there's still a bit of work to do. We can go into the quadrangle area. We see the traditional style red brick, and it has a feel of older buildings, particularly the nearby Kane's Brewery. The arches run along the front of the development. We cycle along Grafton Street to another project I featured previously. It was delayed for a long time, but now it's heading for completion. It's by Taurus and it's called The Vaults. And we can see construction faced with a brick exterior. 8 floors with a distinctive gap in the middle. Is that a vehicle entrance? This is our active project number 3. And project number 4 is just behind it on the empty plot. A new residential building has already started construction, but there are no images of it on the boards. There's a digger working behind the fence. It's a 93 apartment building, also by Taurus. A little further down on Tabley Street, I've noticed this project covered in scaffolding. It's been there for a while. It's stalled and I can't find any information about it. Let's continue to our next active construction project, project number 5, and it's Heaps Mill, which I've featured previously, but now the work seems to be proceeding at a faster pace. We have a combination of the old mill with new buildings on both sides. New visualizations have appeared on the boards, panoramic views of the Royal Albert Dock, rooftop terrace with waterfront views, effortlessly connecting the Baltic Triangle with Liverpool 1 and the Royal Albert Dock. That's some serious scaffolding there, but no doubt it's a big job renovating that derelict mill and turning it into a des res. It's another project by Legacy Developments. The sign says, "Thank you for your patience." That could be said about many delayed projects across Liverpool. I love the renovation of old industrial buildings and I look forward to seeing the inside of this one. Next door to Heaps Mill is project number 6, 1 Park Lane, another one by Legacy Developments. I've been tracking it. A striking tower with a lower neighbouring building, which is going to be a hotel. I've watched as the glazing has been applied to that curved facade, no doubt with great views of the Albert Dock and central Liverpool. Completion is expected by the end of 2024. Just opposite we can see the old Merseyside Police Headquarters. They moved out to new premises in the north of Liverpool a few years ago. What's happening with the old headquarters has not yet been decided. The public are currently being invited to give their opinions. There's resurfacing at Liverpool 1 bus station, but that doesn't count as an active construction site. Now we're in Liverpool 1 and we're just passing the upside down house. You're invited to take a walk on the ceiling and take lots of photos. I'll go inside another day, but let's spin the exterior view around. Now it seems like we're looking from slightly above roof level. It's weird. The house doesn't look local. It's more Norwegian than Norris Green. But the important thing is, it's good to have a roof under your feet. Now we're heading up past the Walker Art Gallery. The exterior renovation is complete and we can see cleaned up stonework and that white statue on the top looks pristine. We're at project number 7, Hughes House, the large residential building built on the site of the former TJ Hughes store. That's the newer one. They've chosen a pale colour of brick decorated with red fins. I think they're a nice feature and they remind me of those coloured insulation panels that are visible only during construction. It's nice to have that splash of colour. It's said to contain 258 sustainable apartments for rent. The old TJ Hughes building, dating from the late 19th century, is also going to be converted into apartments. Here by Kempston Street, it was recently announced that a new project is expected to receive approval. It's a 250-bed student residence to appear within the dotted area. I'll keep an eye on it. Kempston Street looks a bit the worse for wear, like many streets on the northern periphery, with some stalled or abandoned projects around, but hopefully there will be a wave of renovation once these new residences are completed. We cycle down past Stafford Street, which seems to me to be caught in a time warp of the 1970s, apart from the parked cars. But 3 years ago I photographed this Rolls-Royce, first registered in August 1971. I checked the number plate, which I've pixelated. It reminds me a little of the era of the Beatles and Brian Epstein, though their era was the 1960s. A short walk away, it's Back to the Future, and the student residence originally called Natex because it stands on the site of the former National Express coach station. Like many coaches I've travelled on, it's been delayed for a long time, but it looks to me like it's ready to take its first students. Now it's called Limelight. The symbol is a diamond shape. Signage is being installed, so it still counts as an active construction site, our site number 8. Oh look, there's me on my Brompton reflected in the window as we ride down towards the museums. But what's that over there on the right in the distance? A concrete core I've not seen before. Let's take a closer look. We are on Leeds Street and this is the Gateway, our 9th active construction site. RW Invest and Legacy Developments, Manhattan's 1, 2 and 3 bedroom apartments. Looks like these are going to be some stylish gaffs, a big contrast with the grimy industrial units that were here before. We have 4 white-faced matching buildings with a stepped roof and terraces looking north towards the docks and Bootle. Not as tall as the abandoned Infinity Towers down the street, but these are actually being built. The project is called the Gateway, but do the towers have a nickname? I'm not sure, but here's my suggestion, the Four Sisters. But what should we call them? Well, in Manchester, 3 former council blocks were renovated and named after the 3 Pankhurst sisters, Emelina, Christabel and Sylvia. So how about naming them after 4 Liverpool sisters in music? Scylla, Leah, Sonia and Melanie. Just a suggestion. Behind the Gateway is our 10th active site, Bastion Point, which I've also featured previously. Work is proceeding, construction workers are on site. The taller section still needs to be built. Nice brickwork. Actually, this is external brick slip cladding, or brick veneer for short, made in factories using real bricks and brought on site. Now we are back on the busy Leeds Street, the A5053, and that's the former Sir John Moores building, now the Plaza. Built in 1965, it was one of Liverpool's tallest buildings at the time. There's the stalled Infinity site. There doesn't seem to be much happening here at the moment. And now we are down on Waterloo Road near Prince's Dock. Straight ahead is the rear of our active construction site number 11, Patagonia Place. Let's go round to Prince's Dock and look at it from the other side, from my standard vantage point, and we can see how the building is taking shape, consisting of one lower and one higher section. I'll continue to track the construction as it proceeds. This is part of West Waterloo Place. The apartment building is called Mauretania and it's by Romal Capital. It's our 12th active project. Construction is well underway and according to the website, all apartments are sold. I'm looking forward to its launch. But oh, what's that? It's a bus to the Isle of Man ferry terminal, complete with legs of man in the destination sign. What a great location this is. There's going to be a great view from Mauretania over the river towards the Wirral, and look at those arches. It's great to see this ancient architectural feature in use on modern structures. And of course, they recall the Albert Dock. The Everton Stadium is our 13th project. We can't see much of the stadium beyond the wall. Security is tight, but there's one feature we can see. The temporary buildings for the construction workers actually larger than many permanent buildings, but they'll soon be gone. Now we are next to the tobacco warehouse looking across Stanley Dock, And that's project number 14 in this video, the big new apartment development, Hartley Locks. Again, arches are part of the design. It's a project by Taurus Developments, designed by Tim Groom Architects. A forgotten and neglected location is being turned into a great place to live. The development looks photogenic, reflected in the water, with one of the new 777 class trains crossing over the viaduct. I've just had an idea. Underneath the bridge carrying Great Howard Street, the canal leads to Stanley Dock and eventually to the River Mersey. Just behind Hartley Locks, I noticed this Chinese cafe. I must go there. Now we are on Blackstone Street, leading to Boundary Street, the original location that I had suggested for a new Merseyrail station. But as people pointed out, it's a little bit too close to Sandhill Station just up the line. So what can we do? How about moving it down a bit? Close to Hartley Locks, very convenient for people living up here, just like Liverpool Baltic will be to people living down there in the Baltic Triangle. I reckon the train journey from the possible Hartley Locks station down to Liverpool Baltic station will take about 7 minutes. A common feature of all these locations is the way old rundown districts are going through a process of slow transformation. New placemaking is happening, and I like to document the process of change. So keep watching Aid and Eyewitness, and if you want to support what I'm doing, please donate via Buy Me a Coffee. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, and thanks for all the great feedback I've been getting recently. Vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen und auf Wiedersehen in Liverpool.